Do you have questions about closing costs on a VA home loan? Well, you aren't alone. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. This is video number 8 of our series of VA Loan 101. So please hit that like and subscribe button so you can see what we've already gone over and get notified on when a new video drops. Now, if you've seen any of these other series videos, welcome back. Now, let's talk about VA loan closing costs. Now, what veterans can and can't pay for are a pretty common occurrence. Are VA loans really no cost? Well, not quite, but here's where you need to know. In today's video, I'm going to break down VA loan closing costs, what you can and what you can't be charged for, and what the seller is or is not allowed to cover, and how to keep more money in your pocket as a VA home buyer. Now, let's get started. First, we're going to talk about what are closing costs on a VA loan. Just like any other loan, a VA loan comes with closing costs. Now, these are the fees associated with processing, underwriting, and funding the loan. The typical closing costs run between 2 and 5% of the purchase price. Now, these costs include the VA appraisal fee. They include a credit report fee, a title insurance fee, an escrow settlement fee, recording fees, prepaid taxes, prepaid insurance, the VA funding fee, unless you're exempt. So there's a lot of fees tied up with closing. But here is the VA loan advantage. Some fees can legally be charged to the veteran, and some can't legally be charged to the veteran. Veterans cannot be charged for attorney fees unless requested, escrow fees in certain states, underwriting fees, processing fees, pest inspections in most cases, broker fees, notary fees, and documentation prep fees. There's a bunch of stuff, right? Now, here's where VA loans really shine. The VA prohibits lenders from charging veterans for certain non-allowable fees. Now, these non-allowable fees, they include underwriting fees, processing fees, document fees, and there's several other fees that they cannot legally charge. Also, in most states, the WDI, or wood destroying insect inspection, must be paid for by the seller or someone other than the veteran. If a lender wants to charge you a 1% flat origination fee, that covers all allowable lender costs, nothing more. Now, what the veteran can pay for is relatively easy. Veterans are responsible for paying for the appraisal fee set by the VA, typically between $500 and $800 depending on location and size of the house. Credit report fees, title insurance, recording fees, VA funding fee, unless you have a disability rating of 10% or more, then it's waived. And you might not have a rating, you might be able to get it refunded, but that's a different video. Now, you also have to pay for prepaid items like insurance and property taxes. Now, these are normal, but don't worry, they can often be negotiated or credited for you by the seller. Now, let's talk about seller concessions. How much can they help the veteran? Well, VA rules allow sellers to contribute up to 4% of the purchase price in concessions. This can go towards paying prepaid taxes and insurance, buying down your interest rate, paying off collections or debt to help you qualify for the loan, even covering the VA funding fee if you have to pay it. But heads up, this is a 4% limit. It does not include the typical closing costs like title or commissions. Those are separate and not counted towards the 4% cap. So that's very helpful. So yes, your seller can cover most, if not all, of your closing costs with some smart and savvy negotiations. Now, here's a pro tip to save some money on some closing costs. Grab your pencil or your pen. Here are the tips. Always work with a VA experienced lender and VA experienced real estate agent. They'll help you structure a clean offer with seller concessions. Now, if you're disabled, request your VA funding fee exemption letter early. Don't be afraid to shop title companies or ask your lender about credits. Now, some lenders do offer lender-paid closing costs in exchange for a slightly higher interest rate. It's called buying points. Now, this could be worth it if you're short on cash up front, but be careful about that. Now, VA loans are one of the most powerful benefits that you have earned, and knowing how to navigate the closing costs can save you thousands of dollars. Now, if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and drop a like and subscribe. And check out the rest of my VA loan series linked right here. So thank you for watching, and thank you for your service.